Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Shadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Shadma Shri Guru Charana Bando Mui Savadana Mati Bando Mui Savadana Mati Yahara Prasade Bhai Ibhava Turiya Jahara Jahara Prasade Bhai Ibhava Turiya Jahara Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoiti Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoiti Shri Guru Charana Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chititi Koriya Kya Anakori Ho Mani Asha Anakori Ho Mani Asha Shri Guru Charane Rate Se Utama Gati Shri Guru Charane Shri Guru Charane Rate Se Utama Gati Je prasade puri sarvasha Je prasade puri sarvasha Prasade Puri Sarvasha Chakodan dilo je jami jami Prabhu se Chakurani mane Chakodan dilo je jami jami Prabhu se Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Prema Bhakti Jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate Prema Bhakti Jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate Vidigai Jahara Charito Vidigai Jahara Charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokana Lukera Jivana Lokana Lukera Jivana Aha Prabhu Kuru Doya Deho More Padachaya Prabhu Kuru Aha Prabhu Kuru Doya Deho More Padachaya Ividyas Kushutri Bhuvana Ividyas Kushutri Bhuvana Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokana Lukera Jivana Lokana Lukera Jivana Aha Prabhu Kuru Doya Deho More Padachaya Prabhu Aha Prabhu Kuru Doya Deho More Padachaya Ividyas Kushutri Bhuvana Srila Prabhupada Bhajita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Bhajita Pavana Ividyas Kushutri Bhuvana Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namah Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Namaste Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Namaste Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol. Jayo Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jayo Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajaka Acharya Sotarasata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prince Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Maya Purna Padvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Shri Mati Tulasi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, Sri Prabhu's not here, so I'm filling in. Just grab something to read from Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 6, verse 46. A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances be a yogi. Purport. When we speak of yoga, we refer to linking our consciousness with the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such a process is named differently by various practitioners in terms of the particular method adopted. When the linking process is predominantly in fruitive activities, it is called karma yoga. When it is predominantly empirical, it is called jnana yoga. And when it is predominantly in a devotional relationship with the Supreme Lord, it is called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga, or Krishna consciousness, is the ultimate perfection of all yogas, as will be explained in the next verse. The Lord has confirmed herein the superiority of yoga, but He has not mentioned that it is better than bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is full spiritual knowledge, and therefore nothing can excel it. Asceticism without self-knowledge is imperfect. Empiric knowledge without surrender to the Supreme Lord is also imperfect. And fruitive work without Krishna consciousness is a waste of time. Therefore, the most highly praised form of yoga performance mentioned here is Bhakti Yoga. And this is still more clearly explained in the next verse. And the next verse is, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shradhavan bhajite yomam samayukta tamo mataha. And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Sri Bhagavad Gita ki jai. These are the devotees who assisted their spiritual master in dressing the deities today. Sri Sri Radha Shyam Sundar, Jayanti Devi Dasi, Chota Radha Shyam Sundar, Sarla Devi Dasi, Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, Ashtasaki Devi Dasi, Chota Krishna Balaram, Govinda Mohini Devi Dasi, Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Guru Prasad Devi Dasi, Chota Gaurnitai, Leela Devi Dasi, and the Gurus and Lord Nrsingadev, Rasa Rasika Devi Dasi. And this morning's class will be given by Shesha Prabhu.
Anybody play the drum? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vala Giri Vadadari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Purvajaka Stotra Satya Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Kota Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Charge Divine Grace Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaur Bhani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunnivari Paswati. So good morning to everyone, students and other devotees here. Today we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 50, 10th canto, chapter 50, Krishna establishes Dwarka. I believe we just started this chapter recently, so today what we're going to do is we're going to chant together text number 17, and then I'll go back and I'll read 12 through 17 and catch up on the story here a bit. So the word meanings, Tau, of the two of them, Aha, said, Magada, Jarasandha, Viksha, watching, Hey Krishna, O Krishna, Purusha Adama, the lowest of men, Na, not, Tvaya, with you, Yodyam, to fight, it's Chami, do I want, Balena, with a boy, Ekena, alone, Lajaya, shamefully, Guptena, hidden, he indeed, Tvaya, with you, Manda, O fool, Na Yotshe, I will not fight, Yahi, go away, Bandhu, or relatives, Han, O killer. I think we didn't do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tvavaha Magado Vikshya. He Krishna Purusadama. Na Tvaya Yudam Ichchami. Balena Kena Lajya. Gupta Hi Tvaya Manda. Na Yotshe Yahi Bandhuhan. Tavaha Magado Viksha. He Krishna Purushadama Natvaya Yodam Ichchami Balenai Kena Lajaya Guptena Hitvaya Manda Nayotshe Yahi Bandhuhan Ladies? Students? Okay. Translation. I'll read the translation now and the purport, but then I'll go back and try to put the verse in a little context, why Jarasandha is saying all these bad things to Krishna, which is what this verse is about. Jarasandha looked at the two of them and said, "O Krishna, lowest of men, I do not wish to fight alone with you, since it would be a shame to fight with a mere boy. You fool who keeps yourself hidden, O murderer of your relatives, go away. I will not fight with you." That requires a little explanation, why it's in the Bhagavatam, someone talking about Krishna like that. But we'll get there after we read the purport. Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami has interpreted Jarasandha's words as follows. Purushadama can be understood as Purusha Adama, Yasmat, meaning Krishna to whom all men are inferior. In other words, here Lord Krishna is being addressed as O Purushottama, best of living entities, living beings. Similarly, the word Guptena, hidden, indicates Lord Krishna's aspect of being in everyone's heart and invisible to material vision. The words Tvaya Amanda can also be divided, according to Sanskrit grammar, as Tvaya Amandana. In this case, Jarasandha is indicating that Krishna is not foolish, but rather most alert. The word Bandhu was used by Jarasandha in the sense of relative, since Lord Krishna killed his maternal uncle Kamsa. However, Bandhu comes from the verb band, to bind, and therefore Bandhuhan can be understood as one who destroys the bondage of ignorance. Similarly, the words Yahi, please go, indicate that Lord Krishna should approach the living beings and bless them to become Krishna conscious. So as I mentioned, this is Jarasandha speaking words to Krishna, but there's a little bit of a story that goes back to Krishna killing Kamsa. Actually, Kamsa was Krishna's uncle, and he was married to Jarasandha's daughters. Is that correct? Yeah. And so when Krishna killed Kamsa, Jarasandha, his daughters, their husband was killed, and they became very upset, and they went and they told their father what happened. And he was very angry. And so what he decided to do was to attack Krishna's city of Mathura. And so he came there with a big army that was described to be like an ocean. You know how the ocean is, the waves come up and it just looks like it can just take over everything. And so there were an ocean of soldiers surrounding Mathura, and Krishna noticed, he realized, he saw that all the relatives and friends and citizens of Mathura, they became very afraid because they didn't know what was going to happen. All these soldiers were there, and it looked like they would just devour the entire city and kill all of them. And so Krishna was very concerned about that. He was very concerned, and so therefore he and Balaram decided to do something about it, and that's what's described in the verses today, starting with text number 12, which I will read. The Lord's eternal divine weapons appeared before him spontaneously. Seeing this, Sri Krishna, the Lord of the senses, addressed Lord Sankarshan. The Supreme Lord said, "My respected elder brother, see this danger which has beset your dependents, the Yadus. And see, dear master, how your personal chariot and favorite weapons have become before you. The purpose for which we have taken birth, my Lord, is to secure the welfare of our devotees. Please now remove from the earth the burden of these 23 armies." It wasn't one army, but 23 armies. After Lord Krishna had thus invited his brother, the two Dasahas, to Krishna and Balaram, wearing armor and displaying their resplendent weapons, drove out of the city in their chariots. Only a very small contingent of soldiers accompanied them. As Lord Krishna came out of the city with Daruka at the reins of his chariot, he blew his conch shell, and the enemy soldiers' hearts began to tremble with fear. Jarasandha looked at the two of them and said, "O Krishna, lowest of men, I do not wish to fight alone with you, since it would be a shame to fight with a mere boy. You fool who keep yourself hidden, O murderer of your relatives, go away. I will not fight with you." So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chaksharanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So Krishna and Balaram wanted to protect all of their devotees and family and friends and citizens who were living in the city of Mathura. So I have a question for all of you students, and if our technician here can put up the little sign right now. You turned it off. Okay. Okay, among the students, who can tell me what this sign is for? Yes.
That means it's a safe place.
It's a safe place, yes. And when do you go there, to that safe place? Oh, to worship with these. I like that answer, and we're going to come back to that. That's ultimately the best safe place. Yes. Okay, yeah. When you're in trouble, you need some help, you can go there. I see another hand back there. Brother Mohan. Okay, when something dangerous is about to happen to you, yeah, you can find shelter there, yeah. If there's a fire, right. Anybody else? When there's a bomb, okay. Okay, this sign is a safe place. You'll find it on places like the library, for instance, or other places. You can go there when you need some help, or if you're afraid, or if you're alone or something. You can get protection and shelter there at a safe place like that. But, yes. They have a sign like that at the library? Yes. But did you know about this sign that it can also tell us about Krishna? Did you know that sign can tell us about Krishna? That's the lesson for today, how that sign can tell us about Krishna. Just like we read about Krishna, he was concerned, he was worried that all of the citizens of Mathura were afraid because this big army was around, and he felt he had to do something about it. And so he wanted to create a safe place for all of the citizens of Mathura. And he creates a safe place in two ways, just like this sign tells us, in two ways. Who can tell me the first way that this sign shows you that it's a safe place? Yes. Okay, it says it's a safe place, but take away the words and just look at the drawing there. What does the drawing say? Yes. Very good. Wow, that was a very good answer. Yeah, there's a big person and there's a small person. The big person is protecting, giving shelter to the small person. Yeah, that's very good. And what is he giving protection with? Yeah. A hug, right. Very good. That's a hug, yeah. Now we just have one more element to get there. Yes.
It looks like it's in a house.
Yeah, it looks, oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, it looks like it's in a house there. Right, they're in a house. There's a safe place like that. But what's he giving the hug with? What's he giving the hug with? His arms, right. Right, and so we know it's a safe place because there's a big person that can protect a small person, and how they protect them is with their arms, and what they're doing with their arms is they're giving them a big hug, right? So Krishna is just like that sign. Krishna is a big person. He's very powerful. And we're small persons. And Krishna, with his arms, he gives us a big hug with his heart and pulls us close to his heart so that we feel safe and protected. That's how this sign can tell us about Krishna. Because if we think about Krishna, he uses his good feelings for all of us, his heart for us, and he uses his arms to protect us. Just like in Vrindavan. When Indra came and he was making it rain and it was cold and the wind was blowing, how did Krishna protect everybody? Yes. You go ahead. What did he do with Govardhan Hill? He lifted it up with his pinky and his arm, right? He lifted up Govardhan Hill. So Krishna protected all of the residents of Vrindavan with his arm and his hand, just like we see right here. What happened when the Trinavarta came? How did Krishna protect all the residents of Vrindavan when Trinavarta, the whirlwind demon, came? Yes? He killed him, yes, but what did he do? What did he do? What did he use? Yes. He choked him, right? He had his arms around his neck, right? And then when he had his arm around his neck, he couldn't get away because his arm was so strong that he was able to protect him like that. What happened when the horse, what is his name? The horse? Keshi. What happened when Keshi came? How did Krishna protect the residents?
Well, he stuck his arm all down the
Right. He used his arm by sticking his hand in the mouth of the horse, Keshi, and that way Keshi couldn't hurt anybody. And so this is how Krishna protects his devotees. First, he feels something in his heart for his devotees. He feels love for his devotees, and he doesn't want to see them suffer or be in any kind of trouble. Right? Isn't that how Krishna acts to everybody? And then he uses his arms and his hands and his fingers, even his feet. How did Krishna use his feet to protect the residents of Vrindavan? Who knows how he used his feet? Yeah. Yes, he danced on Kaliya. Even with his feet, he protected the residents of Vrindavan. So Krishna didn't need any weapons. He didn't need any weapons like swords and arrows and bows and those kind of things. He just used his hands, his arms, his legs, and his feet. And that was full protection for the residents of Vrindavan. Yes?
He used his hands to kill Kamsa.
He uses, right, even Kamsa, he used his hands. He didn't have weapons to do that. And so Krishna protects us like this. And so as our student here, what's your name that said about the temple is a safe place? Huh? Nimai. Just as Nimai told us, the temple is a safe place because Krishna is here and he can offer us protection in the same way. Because he cares very deeply for all of us. And that's the start of all kinds of protection by the Lord. But he does that protection in different ways. In Vrindavan, as we've been giving the examples, he didn't use any weapons. But now in Mathura, we find in these verses today, we see that his chariot is coming down and his natural weapons, which are swords and bows and arrows, appeared before him spontaneously so that he could use them to protect the residents of Mathura. And we'll hear about the fight and how Krishna utilized his weapons, but those weapons are just expansions of his arms. We even have the expression, don't we? One takes up arms. It means with your arms you take a weapon and you use the weapon to fight. And so the weapons of Krishna are just expansions of his arms. Actually, even Kshatriyas, those that are the kings and who protect society, they're compared to what in the universal body of Krishna? The Kshatriyas are warriors. What are they compared to in the body of Krishna, the universal body of Krishna? Does anybody know? Maybe on this side somebody knows? You know, Jamasmi knows? They're compared to his arms. So it's just, it all gets back to Krishna's very powerful arms. He can protect us in that way. And so he does that in Mathura, and he does that in Dwarka. But when the Lord comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then there's a different kind of protection that he offers. It's not with weapons. Indeed, when he came with weapons as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu stopped him. Why did Nityananda Prabhu stop Lord Chaitanya when he came with weapons? Because they were? Right, well, Lord Chaitanya, he didn't want anyone, he didn't come, his incarnation wasn't for killing the demons. His incarnation was for giving mercy. And so when Lord Nityananda went and he was preaching the glories of Krishna, he met with two very bad people named Jagai and Madai. And they were so bad that they even took up a clay pot and they hit Lord Nityananda on the head. He was just trying to help them, give them the Lord's name, be kind to them. But they returned his kindness by hitting him on the head and causing him to bleed. Now, when Lord Chaitanya saw that, or heard about that, he came there with his Sudarshan chakra, and he was going to do what with it? He was going to cut off the head. But Lord Nityananda was so merciful and kind that he said, "No, my Lord, stop. Don't do this. Don't do this, because in the age of Kali, everyone is against you. Everyone has some dislike of you. And so therefore you've come to give them mercy. So don't use your weapons. Put your weapon, your Sudarshan chakra, away. Don't use that. But rather give them your mercy." And so this mercy that's coming through Lord Nityananda is actually it's actually a weapon, but it's a different kind of weapon of the Lord. Just like we've seen, he has weapons with his hands and feet. He has weapons with his swords and bows and arrows. But his most powerful weapon is what? What's the most powerful weapon that the Lord has? I heard it, I think someone said. Harinam Sankirtan, which comes from where? Comes from the heart. That's the most powerful weapon that the Lord has, is his heart. His affection, his care for all of us. That can actually destroy any bad qualities we may have. It can relieve us of any kind of difficulty. It gives us complete shelter, just like that house where that small person is getting the hug from the big person. The mercy of the Lord is his most powerful weapon. And that's confirmed, actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 11th canto, there's a verse, Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastur Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtanaya Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So, Anga, this word is used in this verse, which means weapons. So what's the weapon, the most powerful weapon of Lord Chaitanya? Yes. The holy name is one. He had a lot of powerful weapons. Another one, think about his associates. His associates are the most powerful weapon of the Lord. Think of Srila Prabhupada. He came here from India all by himself. And there was, talk about an ocean of people ready, army ready to take over Dwarka. There was an ocean of ignorance. No one cared anything about Krishna. No one cared anything about themselves as spirit souls. There was an ocean of ignorance. And Prabhupada came, one person alone. What could he do with a weapon? He couldn't do anything with a sword or a bow and arrow or a weapon like that. But because he had the Lord's most powerful weapon, the compassion from his heart for all living beings, he was able to change everything about the face of Western civilization. He was able to change everything. So the associates or the companions of the Lord are his most powerful weapon, along with the holy name. Obviously, they bring the holy name. And they can make a tremendous difference in our lives and give us the shelter we're looking for. You may know that there are different types of deities. And if you go to India and certain places around Mayapur, you'll find temples of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, where the deity of Lord Nityananda has his arms forward. We have them up like this, right? Nityananda here has his arms up. But if you go to some temples, his arms are out like this, almost like the Safe Place logo there. He has his arms out like that. What does his arms out like that mean? What does his arms out like that mean? Does anybody know? Has anybody seen such a deity? You've seen such a deity? Okay. Has anybody, the grown-ups here, seen such a deity? Oh, Jagannath is there too, right? He has his arms out, right? Well, Lord Nityananda has his arms out. I've seen the temple someplace in Mayapur, in one of the Prikramas I went there. Lord Nityananda's arms out there. He's reaching out. He's not waiting for you to come to the safe place. If you go to that safe place, you have to go there, and then you'll get safety and shelter and protection. But Lord Nityananda, he's not waiting for you to come to his place to give you shelter. He's going out and he's offering the shelter of his arms to you. That's a special mercy of Lord Nityananda, that he's going to embrace each and every one of you. And indeed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his pastimes, we see that whenever he particularly favored somebody, what did he do to them? Whenever he wanted to give his mercy to somebody, say like King Prataparudra, the king of Orissa, who wanted so badly to have the mercy of the Lord. And then finally during Rath Yatra, he humbled himself and he went and he massaged Lord Chaitanya's feet. And then when he was chanting some verses about Krishna, what did Lord Chaitanya do? Does anybody know? He stood up. He was so happy. He stood up and he took his arms and he put them around him and he embraced him very tightly. holding him to his chest, because he was so happy that this person was reciting descriptions about Krishna. The same thing with Ramananda Rai. When he described Krishna in so many ways, when Lord Chaitanya was satisfied with him, he gave him a big hug. And so, using his arms to hug the conditioned souls in this Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya extends his mercy to us. And we can extend Lord Chaitanya's mercy, Lord Nityananda's mercy to each other by doing what? To each other, among us. What can we do to sing these? Give hugs, yes. We can give hugs to the devotees of the Lord. Actually, I believe it's in the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Roy, where it describes what's the best thing one can do is to touch the body of a Vaishnava. So we can touch each other's bodies by giving each other's heartfelt hugs, heart-to-heart exchanges. I know there are a few devotees that are very famous in ISKCON for giving hugs like this, particularly Radhanath Swami. If Radhanath Swami gives you a hug, he won't let you go. You know, he's like, okay, enough already. But he just holds on very tightly and he hugs you. And so that's how we should, relate to each other, have goodwill for each other. That's where this real protection begins, with the goodwill of our heart, and then our endeavors that we make with our arms. So this is a little bit about safe place of the Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON movement, Srila Prabhupada. So does anybody have any questions or comments about these subject matters? Mother Ragatmika.
You said that Krishna does not like to see his devotees suffer. How can we understand that we, in our everyday life at times, and, of the history of devotees, of the Sankirtan movement, we've seen devotees suffer.
Mm-hmm.
How can you explain that?
Well, there's suffering and then there's suffering. Suffering with no end in sight is one kind of suffering, and that's the kind of suffering that goes on in this material world. But when Krishna says that, Aham Tom Sarvapapabhyo Moksha Shami Masucha, don't fear. When he tells us that, you take shelter of me, don't fear. That means that, we may experience some suffering, but don't fear. It is over. It's going to end. There's an end, because he's taking responsibility. And so, if we appear to be suffering, it's just temporary. It's not going to last for long. And we have to patiently await the mercy of Krishna, have faith that mercy will be there. And when we have that hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel, then whatever we're going through is not the same type of thing when we go through hopeless kinds of sufferings in this world. So we have that promise to us, and that is what we should hold on to very tightly, despite the fan stopping, as Prabhupada said. It's unplugged, the fan's unplugged, and it's just going to stop very soon. So we should have that faith, and then we'll experience the suffering less. It's something different than ordinary suffering. Yes?
Well, here's another complementary angle, perhaps. We'll see. If Krishna doesn't like to see us suffering, and we're like Krishna's friend, we don't want to see Krishna suffer because we're suffering, so perhaps we should do something so we can get out of the suffering condition.
Yes, chant and be happy. That's what it is. We have to take the positive thing. He's told us, I don't want you to suffer. Therefore, I've come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver you all from this suffering. So be delivered. Don't think, I'm not delivered. Krishna, I can't be delivered. I'm too much suffering. I'm into my suffering. I want to suffer. Give it up. There's that old play that used to be done in temples on the Sunday feast where On one bank of the river, all the devotees are chanting and dancing in ecstasy, and on the other side of the river, someone's suffering. And they're saying, come on over, come on over. He said, no, but I can't. I have, all this baggage that if I go in the river, I'm going to drown. I'll give it up, just leave it there. Come on over, come on over. But the person stubbornly refuses and continues to suffer. Be delivered. Krishna's come to deliver us, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, be delivered. Yes, Dharma?
There's also a very special kind of experience that one gets when he's suffering as well, especially if you're thinking of Krishna, And I think even when you're in that suffering condition, as long as it is not prolonged too long, it's very relishable,
Oh, that's an interesting area. When you get the mercy of Krishna, you see it different. Something may be happening to you one day, then you get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the next day. Then the same thing may be happening, but you see it differently. You experience it differently. Why? Because you've been delivered by the mercy of the Lord. Yeah. Dharmaraj.
I just wanted to share a little story. You were talking about embracing each other. Many years back in Guyana, there were two devotees. They were arguing and fighting. And there was a third devotee, and he was kind of a newer, and he didn't know English so well either. So he mentioned something that was quite interesting. He came up and he said, Hare Krishna Prabhus, you shouldn't be embarrassing each other, you should be embracing each other. That's what we are here to do in this movement. So I think that was very nice, like the way he said it, and it makes a lot of sense when you explain here now. Thanks.
Krishna speaks wonders through our mouths beyond our own realization. Anything else anyone has? Yes.
Thank you. This process Srila Prabhupada gave us is there to relieve the suffering of this material existence and ultimately go back home, back to Godhead. So for those of us like me who are so conditioned that it's hard to take shelter of the process consistently, how to kind of break that cycle and get some encouragement, association, help in taking more seriously the shelter of this process that Srila Prabhupada gave.
Well, we can hear from the acharyas, and they've expressed sentiments. Again, the heart is where there's great mercy, and we can seek and we can find shelter. One of the ways that Krishna protects us. And so bhajans sung by the acharyas are particularly useful for stirring our heart in the right sentiments, to take the mercy that's being given to us, to encourage us to accept the practices. And one such bhajan is, I'm not sure if this is the technical name of it, but it's what we know it as, is Nitai Pada Kamalam. We were talking about Lord Nityananda. Nitai Pada Kamalam. It describes so nicely how he's giving mercy, and his feet are real. And sometimes the song even says that sometimes we see Nityananda's feet and we think, oh, they're just like something in this material world. Why should I take shelter there? It's another false shelter. But Narottam Das Thakur, is it? This Narottam Das Thakur's bhajan? Lochan Das Bhajan. No. Narottam Das Thakur. Anyway, they're advising, no, they're real. Don't think this is just something from the material world. So we shouldn't think that, what we've been given, the association, this wonderful temple, the deity worship, we shouldn't think these are just part of the material world, they're spiritual world. So we should utilize them. I mean, the devotees are working so hard to have this place. It's a very nice place. This is a very nice place, New Ramanareti. I mean, the grounds are beautiful, very nice, beautiful deities, very nice, so many devotees. It's a very nice place. So take advantage of it. Take advantage, and then we'll get encouragement. We only get encouragement from one another, so we should take advantage of it while we can. Okay. Just,
along that same point, along that same line, is that we're going after Krishna.
It's on.
So sometimes we may slow down, as you're pointing out. Sometimes we're not consistent. So I've noticed that we're not only running after Krishna, but we're being chased also by Maya. In other words, we're running away from Maya and running towards Krishna. So if you slow down, she'll catch you. If you've ever been running, you may be able to run fairly quickly. But if you're being chased, I had a bee the other day he was after me. And I was running like anything. I mean, kind of almost crazy running just to get away from that bee. I don't know, in Florida you have a lot of experience with the wildlife here. And so if we notice that as soon as we slow down, Maya's right there nipping at our heels, then we can take that as an opportunity to see that I got to keep running, because if you slow down, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't want to slow down, that's for sure. So, we'll end on that note. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Kirtan.
Can I ask you some Monday stuff? That's right. So we're working on Sadhguru stuff, and I swear to God, I'm going to put this stuff up by the end of the year, probably. And also we had this devotee, Gandhi mom, who's doing interviews, oral interviews with people, oral history, and the point I'm driving at is we want to have something like legal we could put this in, the website, the name, and her oral history, some of those things and so on. It's got to be something. So the few options expressively, one is, Brahma Scripture already in Catholic Day, and also in Healthy Idea. He says, yeah, we can do that. That's an option. It's just set up something as a part of that. And, another thing is we're going to set up our own little non-profit, which I think might be more long-term, but it might be a little bit over-ambitious at this point.
Well,
There's going to be an office or anything.
if you have yes, already, it's a non-profit. They could be parked there for now at least.
That's all I'm looking for right now. Yeah.
Just make an agreement that if, it has to be is there a BI calculation?
At one point, Sadhguru had something called ISKCON Research Center, and then he had Govardhan Hill. So I don't know the whole history, nor perhaps I really want to do that.
This is something new.
Yeah, because why do we want to do that? I'm into the parking idea right now. So you're saying something about this kind of agreement? What's that agreement?
They parking is a good word. I guess your road is good. They don't become a property of that. If you want to move something like that.
Okay, then who would sign that?
Yeah, the IBS people.
Well, then who's...
Oh, who's the
Yeah.
party? Yeah, what are you doing? Do you have legal authority to do anything?
Well, who has legal authority to do anything? I mean...
If it's in your possession, how did it come in your possession?
Oh, I'm not talking about launched their initial program because it's her husband's stuff. There's more general stuff that's enough, because I'm a part towards and it's just like it's from general research and parts where I can say with the papers and the funnels and everything else. So what I'm talking about is this website I'm doing now. Right now I just put it in my name because I have a credit card to get the domain. And also she's doing oral history reviews, Krishna Devi actually. And they want to set a consent form with somebody that this stuff will not be used, blah, blah, blah. Unless it's whatever the situation is. That's all I'm looking for right now. Parking.
I don't know, you can, yeah, there's parking from there. I guess
Well, I'm doing a website.
you're creating it, so you can do anything you want.
So the question is the website and oral history. She's having them sign a consent form. She'll call it whatever. Arya, with the
Oral history program.
yeah. Now she had him sign a consent form. I was asking, well, what's legal? What's the legal thing? She said, I don't know, but Song Rishu is involved, and I think it's affiliated somehow with his project with Living Corporation.
Here in this country, for example, things like that.
I don't know.
Well,
Because that's the one thing I'm worried about is she's doing all the history interviews, and it's not there's some level of confidence. It's just about South Buddhism. It's not like, I think all the gurus suck, and then suddenly I'm in trouble with this guy's reputation. So I don't think it's that. But they are signing some consent and some agreement of confidentiality at some level. And it's just you want to be able to honor that. I mean, she's making that promise. It's not that someone can just walk in there. Oh, it's public.
if you did under IBS, even if it sort of became their company, their asset, their intellectual property, or whatever, in the future, if a non-profit corporation was established, they could give that or transfer that to the other non-profit corporation. So, you'd be safe parking for that.
Yeah.
With sort of a memorandum of understanding or something that if in future, an entity, non-profit entity is developed, where these would better be
Dedicated to preserving South with a specific focus dedicated to preserving South Buddhist legacy.
we agree that we'll, transfer them there.
Yeah.
I think without having anything, actually, both right now, that's the best kind of thing. And parking at some place, you don't know what could happen to you or anybody, who has these things, and better they be associated with some organization that's,
Yeah, I don't really want it in my name. I mean, it's my legal name, and I don't even know the Hare Krishna who, is commenting. If I do actually do something academically, what I mean, me, I have to do this stuff. I'm a professional academic. And Brahma Tirtha is about it. Hey, this is not this, I just call it nonsense.
but yeah,
Brahma Tirtha, now he's not a real details guy. Now, if we wanted something, a memorandum, is that something like you're open to considering consulting on or something? Or perhaps a cardinal? Is some guy who's like a hard ass or both or neither? Cardinal name? His name is it's more financial.
I could do it, but I can't do it until I come back from India at the end of October.
Okay. Then I had another question since you mentioned that. Next time I ever go to India, can I go sometime when you're going? So at least I know somebody who's there who knows what the hell's going on. Yeah, I can help you out. I can do something. Oh, yeah, you say that to everybody.
If you're ready to go, then we'll go.
I get a free ticket. You going in to Mayapur too? I got a free ticket. I gotta go back. That's while it's still there.
Well, my well, we have a meeting. Just a meeting.
I mean, I'll find something to do, but it's, it's just like, I mean, it's nice to see some devotees who really know that. Sure, if I can do it. I mean, there's a pizza joint there, right?
There's 7.
Yeah.
When's the last time you
Oh, well, Mayapur, you guys like in 93. Yeah, you're kidding. Yeah, I went back to India in like 2004 when we stuck in the I mean, I love it, but it's not just like oh, wow, that'd be really far. I mean, so I think I'm gonna check in. Yeah. All right, gives you something to think about.